Sonos, the king of whole home audio and premium soundbars. But are they still the gold standard in 2025? Let's take a deep dive and talk about where they are today and where we think they're heading. Let's do this. Well, welcome to today's episode, everybody. And it's been a very long time since we last talked about Sonos on this channel. And I thought that I would bring to you all, especially our subscribers that followed us from over the years about Sonos products, an update about Sonos and where they kind of are today. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hi-Fi Brothers talks about product reviews, and we cover a whole aspect of different types of brands on this channel, as well as just tips in general on home theater. We hope that you stick around to the end of the video, and if you like the content, please subscribe. So yeah, if you're new to Sonos products, just a brief background about them. So they were founded in 2002, so quite a bit ago. And they started out as a whole home wireless audio solution. So you could put different speakers in different parts of your house, and then you can sync them together and stream music services through them. So they were kind of the pioneers in that space, and since then they've actually come up with a lot more products. They got into home theater, they released premium sound bars. Yeah, they've been overall a pretty premium brand. That's kind of been their shtick the whole time. But as of today, 2025, their newest products are going to be the Sonos Arc Ultra, which is their highest end premium soundbar. They also have the Beam Gen 2, which is kind of their middle range soundbar. They also have the Ray, which is their entry-level soundbar, and then they have their standard speakers, which is the Era 300s, the Era 100s, a Sub Mini, the Sonos Ace, which are their headphones. There's a couple other products in there like the Port and the Amp. And then also, I forgot to mention their portable speaker. So they have their larger one, which is the Move 2, which is the second iteration of that specific product. And then they also have the Roam 2, which is their smaller, more portable speaker, which I actually have right behind me here. But yeah, if you'd like a list of their older products that are still supported today by Sonos, I'll put a card above me right now. We've done this video, it's been over a year, but those products should still be supported in their latest app. You could still pair those with the other speakers that I just mentioned. So yeah, give that a look. All right, so let's get into the meat of the video, and that's gonna be talking about where is Sonos today and what have they been up to. So their latest product release has been their headphones, which is the Sonos Ace. And when they were released, they were $449, I believe, which is compared to the Apple AirMax Pros, over-the-ear headphones. And they got pretty good reviews. You'll see a lot of reviewers out there. They said that they're great. They have awesome noise canceling capabilities. As far as the audio, they sound definitely are premium, just a testament to a lot of other Sonos products. But I would say that the biggest negatives from the Sonos Ace has been the price point. $449 seemed to be pretty expensive for a multi-zone audio brand that released headphones for the very first time. And the other thing I want to mention too, I did this in an older video, is actually the app streaming capability. So unlike all of other Sonos products where you can go into the app and then you can stream your music through that way, for some reason, they actually left that out of the Sonos Ace. So they're basically just Bluetooth headphones, and they do have the ability to connect them to your TV, but you need either the Sonos Arc Ultra, or the Beam Gen 2, I believe. So it's kind of a finicky way to connect TV audio. I'm not sure why they excluded the Ace from being able to do that in the app. But anyway, hopefully they add that feature later down the road. But yeah, I would just say that that's kind of the only two negatives from it, but otherwise they've been great. The other thing I want to mention too is the Sonos app. Now, I did create a Sonos RANT video specifically about the app update. And that was done about 9 months ago. And at the time, a lot of people were very upset with this update just because it left out a lot of features that were in the previous revision of the app. And the reason why they made that update to begin with is because they wanted to make sure that they had that support with the Sonos Ace headphones. I would say that the trade-off with that is that we got a much worse app experience. Just to fast forward to today, the app has improved significantly since that first release about 9 months ago, but there's still some quirks here and there that need to be refined, primarily with connectivity. I noticed this sometimes too, that the app will not open right away. I have to close it and I have to reopen it again. Another one is that if I'm doing my connecting to multiple zones, sometimes the other zone doesn't connect. I have to reset the app, or if I'm playing music, it'll just cut out the other zone. I don't know why it's doing that. I've done resets and everything else. It seems like in forums, I've been on Reddit forums specifically for Sonos, a lot of people have kind of been experiencing kind of the same things that I have. They've been fixing it, so hopefully they continue to do that. The other thing I'm going to talk about is just the competition. So when Sonos first came out, as we said, 2002, which is 23 years ago to be exact, it kind of set the gold standard and was the pioneers in the multi-room audio streaming capability. But since then, we've gotten a lot more products. Amazon Echoes can now do that. I know Google Homes could do that. I know the HomePods from Apple can do that as well. There are some other streaming devices that you can do that as well. They might not do it as great as Sonos, but they're there. They're available. And I know that those products have been significantly improved over the past few years. And I think it's just a matter of time to where they actually will catch up to Sonos in that department. So if you're a person who's looking for a multi-room setup, you might go to the other brands that I mentioned primarily because of the price. So yeah, it's definitely not the cheapest or budget-friendly brand out there, especially when you're comparing what's out there in the market today. But I would say that where you're gonna get the most benefit, and we talked about this on our very first video that we did on Sonos, which was about 5 years ago, is Sonos does its best when you're using it in the multi-room functionality. So if you are a Sonos user, if you're a person who has their home theater product right now, try the multi-room out. I think you're gonna be very impressed by that. So where do I think Sonos is heading? I think Sonos is kind of going through a pretty big gut check right now. As those of you that have been following the news, a lot of their top level executives have left the company, mostly because of the app. It's really deterred people from buying their products. And in a sense, a lot of people that have been avid Sonos users ditched their products altogether. They decided, you know, the app's terrible, I can't use this product. And then they decided to sell it and they went a different direction. So I still believe they make some of the best products for what they're capable of doing. My honest opinion is they can probably come out with some better products that fit more of those specific configuration needs. One example is a dedicated surround sound speaker that also does upward firing for Atmos, not the Era 300s, like an in-between of the 3 and the 100. So call it the Era 200s, for example. The other one is just, you know, continuing to work on the app and just make it better. Bring it back to where it was a year ago, and that is a consistent experience where you can go in, choose what rooms you want to stream your services to, or just stream your services in general, even if you have just one zone, and not have to worry about cutouts or it disconnecting or not being able to access the app. I would like to see more advanced capabilities in the app, such as the equalizer. I know that they do True Play, which is a means of helping to calibrate the audio depending on where the speaker is in your room. When you're doing True Play, this is what Sonos recommends, which is great as a baseline. I want to be able to have more functionality beyond that. And then the last one is, you know, the multi-room capability. I know I've said this a lot throughout the video. Sonos needs to continue to be the pioneers in this specific market just because they know how to do it really well. They should stick to it. They should make further improvements on that connection. But yeah, I think that concludes our video. So what do you think about Sonos? Were you a Sonos user and now you ditched it because you were sick and tired of the app? Or are you a diehard fan of Sonos and everything that they release has been fire and you absolutely love it and they can do no wrong? If you have opinions either way, please put them in the comments below. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification button. And as always, keep it hi-fi.